time to go beyond Plus Ultra for another Boku no Hero Academia review.
Plus Ultraman?
Plus Ultraman. I saw they had a new miniseries that's finally coming out on YouTube that was on their, Ultraman pay thing. I think it's Ultraman Connection, and I've been waiting for it because the last miniseries ended on a big cliffhanger, and I'm like, ooh, it's been announced, but it's behind a paywall. I'll wait until it goes on YouTube.
Sure, you'll wait. Wink.
I did
Not
wait.
gonna surf the high seas this time, are you?
No, I held myself for about 5 months.
To be fair, I probably would do the same thing unless I was absolutely unable to hold myself back. Because generally, I have the set it and forget it attitude.
Yeah.
So I'll ignore it until I remember it exists.
And this is basically the only thing on there that I wanted, so I wouldn't have been a member for a month just for that and then left, or however long the upload would have taken.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Infinity Train on HBO Max. Yeah, which is disappointing.
Yeah, not doing that. That's for sure.
Yeah, just getting a streaming service for one series, that just doesn't seem worth it to me.
Not in the slightest.
Yeah. Oh, but this episode has a lot of reveals that we kind of guessed.
I mean, I'm not going to take any kind of credit for it because it's been one that's been floating out there for ages. So I don't feel like it's fair to take credit for that one.
Yeah?
It's one of those things where it's like, it feels like it's pretty obvious.
And then when it's revealed, it's like, oh, what a twist.
What a twist. Indeed. Quite a twist.
Pretzel twist.
I do enjoy a good Bavarian pretzel.
With mustard or cheese?
Cheese, please.
Ooh.
Everything's better with cheddar.
Yes. So, we have a plane, and somebody on the plane is saying, "Can't this go any faster?" And the person has a belt that says blowjob. I mean, BJ. It must be Best Genus.
What? No.
I mean, it's completely obvious.
No.
Who else would
You mean
wear?
it was hypo when they made the DJ Hero belt?
Maybe my confusion calling him DJ Mike a few episodes back got that in your head, and now you're calling present Mike DJ Mike?
He's technically called the DJ Hero.
Mm.
So, that is the nickname or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
So technically, while it's not his actual name, it is a title he has.
Everybody is the something hero.
Yep.
So yeah, we have the Shigaraki fight. Deku is saying Shigaraki, please, don't wake up.
Just stay down, damn it.
And
just stay down.
And Shigaraki wakes up.
Yep. You got All For One being like, look, we need to fall back. Your body's going to fall apart. And of course, Shiggy's being a very bad teenager and being very angsty right now.
I won't do what you say.
Don't tell me what to do, Dad.
And then he gets hit with a golden spiral of energy.
Hey, look, they finally got here. Hey, Nejire. Hey, Ida.
And they're not showing up within the last minute like you expected they would last time.
I mean, technically, I would consider this the last minute since Big Makia shows up immediately after.
But it's not the last minute of the episode.
Oh, that's what you mean? Okay, fair.
Um,
I don't know if that's what I was meaning at the time. I definitely meant whatever the last. You know what? Last minute of the episode was the joke. That's what it was.
yes, because
That's all
like
right. I remember.
last time, yeah, we were supposed to have the whole episode inside the battle, but they actually pulled out halfway to jump to Ochiko and
Toga.
Toga. Thank you. We were like, we weren't expecting this at all.
Yeah, I don't remember that in the preview. But yeah, we got our buddies here.
Mm-hmm.
Ida's like, look, the big dude's gonna show up any minute. I told the people on the way that we're fighting the Nomus, get the fuck out. Big man's coming.
And Deku says, like, hey, Shigaraki's still after me. Everybody, leave. Let me stay here.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he's saying let me stay here. He's definitely saying he's still after me, though.
I thought he was, like, implying that everybody...
I don't know what he's going to do, considering he's not able to channel One for All right now. Otherwise, he totally would be at the moment. I think he's too exhausted to use it.
Good point. Good point. And Shoto says that Shigaraki's regeneration is slowing down, so keep attacking him full force.
Yeah, keep going. He's worn down to shit. He ain't gonna make it.
His body's literally falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut away to Gravity and Toga.
Yeah, great timing.
Yeah.
Right when we're about to have a nice little punch, we go back to this shit.
The unexpected shit.
The shit that, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I care about that much. Like, I like the characters, but I don't know. With this situation, maybe it's just because I'm not seeing where it's gonna lead to, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's leading to a full-on conflict by the end of this situation between Toga and Ochiko.
Maybe. Or maybe it's character development for Toga? I'm not sure.
I mean, it is and it isn't. It feels like since by the end of this, the full realization of they both like the same guy is going to come down to a fight between each other. And Toga is definitely someone who's not going to take any prisoners.
Because she's yandere.
A little psychotic.
Yeah.
Now, how that's going to work against fucking Deku when that situation crops up, I don't know.
And was that that was a flashback to the My Villain arc where she was using Ochiko's power and making everybody fall?
Yep.
Yeah. And I had it wrong last week when I said she can only turn into people she loves. No, when she uses the blood on a person she loves, she can use their quirk.
See, that's what she's saying, but she only just discovered that during that moment. I don't know if that's accurate.
I'm not too sure either.
Like, my question would be, is it because of her obsession that it's allowing her to reach that? Or is that like the mental block that's letting her not do that for everyone?
I'm not sure.
I'd be curious if, say, like, All for One took her quirk. Would he be able to just use that ability fully and just, copy whatever quirk he wanted by drinking the blood in that regard? Or does it absolutely have to be the obsession? Personally, I lean toward the idea of it's a mental block for Toga. If this is accurate, right? I believe personally that, like, if what Toga's saying is accurate, it's a mental block stopping her from doing it for everyone.
I'm not sure. But then again, why would All for One be able to use her quirk when he has the ability to steal quirks?
See, I'm curious what it would mean. I was using one as an example, but I'd be curious what it would mean if he could do that. Like, if he used Toga's quirk, would he then be able to permanently acquire whatever quirk he had copied?
Oh.
And then transfer that to somebody else?
Oh.
Or would he need to transfer the blood drinking quirk along with whatever that quirk was?
I think the blood drinking quirk.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We might never find out how that mixture works ever. Who knows?
There's always fan theories.
Exactly. But yeah, essentially Froppy shows up. Toga can't win a 2-on-1 and she knows it, so she
Uh,
bails.
right before that, Ochiko loses her Deku keychain.
She does, but honestly, the whole scene just amounts to, you like the same boy I do. It's gonna go bad for us now. And then bail. Because I can't
Yeah.
win a 2-for-1. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and dissect this one because all it comes down to is that one sentence, really.
We also have Ochiko's new attack, Zero Satellites.
Yeah, it's true. She makes a bunch of stuff float, attaches it with her hooks, and then hurls it. Uses it as a bunch of whips, basically, with big shit on the end.
And Toga
A
says,
flail,
like,
really, I guess.
yeah, and Toga says, like, hey, I was holding back too. If I shut in my feelings, they only become stronger.
I don't know what that means for her, though.
Like, if she tries to hide her feelings of love for somebody, like, they'll only build up and exponentially increase.
Yeah, but what does that even do?
Makes her crazier? Question
Like,
mark?
it just, repression on the whole. Like, that's kind of Toga's whole thing, is like she was repressed and eventually it boiled over. Because
Yeah.
nobody could accept her for who she was. Or, like, having... I don't want to say having to do what she does, because as far as I can tell, it's not something that she has to do. It's a weird, from what I can remember, back and forth with her quirk, of, like, the quirk also affecting her mentality to a certain degree.
So, is she a yandere because of her quirk?
I want to say it's half and half. I want to say it's partly always been there, and I think the quirk has just turned it up to 11.
So, yeah, Shoto is ice surfing towards Shigaraki, and then Makia shows up.
Well, we got a good shot in. You forgot about that. When Nerjire and Shoto get a shot in at once.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, Makia manages to grab Shigaraki out of the way just in the nick of time before he really took that damage. Also, we do get a name for what that, like, tentacle quirk thing is. It's called Rivet Stab.
Ah, okay, okay.
Because I had to look that up. I'm like, wait, is that the quirk I think it is? And yes, that is the name for the weird, like, red and black tentacle things.
Actually, in my order of the notes I took, Makia shows up, and then he grabs Shigaraki.
Yes, but the hit happens in between that time.
Ah, okay.
Because, I mean, that's what knocks out Shigaraki.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's unconscious for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
But yes, Rivet Stab. That's what that quirk is. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious why it's called that. But yeah, the hit happens. It does some pretty decent damage, I guess.
Yeah.
Then you have Ingenium picking up Bakugo, being like, dude, we gotta get out of here. And he's like, put me the fuck down, you asshole.
I
This
need a
needs to be-
complete victory.
We need this to be a complete victory, which means Shigaraki needs to go down.
But he says I need a complete victory, so I think he feels like he should be the one to bring down Shigaraki.
I mean, it's definitely personal, right? It's definitely personal for Bakugo.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree that he would say it that way. I know you have your subs. Mine says it has to be a total victory. I don't know if yours is more correct than mine, but it works either way, honestly. One's more personal, one's less, a little less so.
Do you think in the final fight of the series between Shigaraki and people, Bakugo will have the final hit, or Deku will have the final hit?
I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm curious if in the final fight there's going to be self-sacrifice.
Oh.
So I think the question would be, we get at the very start of this series, we get Deku saying about how this is the story of how I became the greatest hero in the world or what have you, right? Was that at the cost of self-sacrifice? Did he pass on One for All because he could no longer continue with it, like at the final fight to bring him down?
Oh.
Which I would find interesting if that was the case, and he doesn't fail to take down Shigaraki / All for One, but passes it on to Bakugo to finish the fight that he can't.
I actually think that may have happened in the latest movie.
There was some weird temporary thing I remember hearing about with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like he transferred One for All to Bakugo, and as the remnants were supposedly leaving Deku, they both had it and defeated. I think his name was Nine?
See, I don't know how that works, because now, like, if it would go back to Deku, doesn't he have Bakugo's power now? Is an explosion in there? Because that would make that very weirdly canon / uncanon if it that'd be a weird canonicity to bring in, I should say.
Haha, canon, good pun.
Yes, hilarious.
But then again, 95% of the Dragon Ball Z movies were non-canon.
Oh yeah, for sure. However, I know the one at least of these is canon, and there's been I think 2 movies in this series.
3.
I know one which is like a quote unquote prequel, or at least takes place in during All Might's glory days, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that one's canon because who the fuck cares? It doesn't really matter. I don't know about the other 2.
So
If the Bakugo one is, then like what the fuck does that mean for the quirk?
So Endeavor is saying it's my fault that Makia started moving, so I'll be the one to stop him. I don't know how I'm gonna do it though because my one lung is crushed.
Yeah, Endeavor's in a bad way. Hurts to breathe. He's probably like bleeding out internally right now. Shigaraki's unconscious, as we mentioned. He is just down, which means Maki is not going to do shit until he gets an order.
Yeah, but then somebody shows up. It's Dabi.
I mean, he's been here the entire time on his back. I was real curious what he was shaking in his hand because I'm like, has he got like lighter fluid to make things like explode?
Nope, his hair dye for whatever reason.
Dye remover, I guess, really.
Oh. And he reveals that his name is Toya.
Hey, the thing that people have been theorizing for how long is fucking true.
Yep. And he starts sharing his story all across Japan.
The doctored story, let's be real here, because clearly what he's saying is a weird warped perspective of things.
Yeah, how
the fuck did he live through the fire, let alone have the fire start in the first place?
Wasn't it because his quirk went out of control?
That might have been what they assumed, but the way they made it sound here, Endeavor was running up there because he saw the blaze. Like, he wasn't there when it happened. So who's giving off that story?
Huh.
Is that just the assumption at that point?
And according to Endeavor, there was no remains left of him because the flames...
They did find a jawbone. That was it.
Yeah, because the flames were over 2,000 degrees Celsius, and like everything was carbonized and turned to ash except for the little bit of his jawbone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the only piece they found. Which, considering the way Dabi looks currently, he must have gotten a new one.
Yeah.
Or had a prosthetic made to replace the old bone.
And maybe that's because why he's so scarred. Maybe he did lose some bone in the blaze, and maybe he has like some cybernetic bone or like some artificial bones in there.
I would assume it's artificial. Like, it's probably, if I was going to take a wild guess, coral based, because I believe that's what's used to replace bone in some circumstances.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you could do that for an entire fucking jawbone, but I know that it's been used to like fill in gaps in bones in some places.
My replacement jaw is titanium. So,
I mean, it's hard to say because like the teeth themselves are there and they seem just straight white. Now, granted,
yeah.
they could be painted, I guess, or the faux teeth were implanted into the steel jawbone or titanium jawbone. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm assuming all the scarring is from the fire. Although I'd be curious why those specific spots are what's burned because it's in weird patterns.
And they didn't explain why his body is stapled together.
Yeah, that would be the next part, right? I'm not sure. Is that not his skin that's on there? Is his skin the burned skin? And he found like replacement skin in surgery? You know?
I'm not sure.
It's very curious because it's the one thing that's kind of left out of here is how the fire started, what happened in the fire, and how he got out and where he was after that.
Yeah, yeah.
All we really get during his reveal is like, my father's a shithead. He did all this to beat All Might and tortured his kids and yada yada yada, and married a woman he didn't love and this and that, you know. And while yes, that is horrible, and Endeavor is a fucking monster for that part of his life, that doesn't mean you can't grow to love those things or grow to appreciate those things.
Yeah,
And
and
it even seemed like it for Toya in the way like Endeavor's remembering it. Because he's like, he didn't care that Toya didn't have the ice quirk. Because Toya had the potential, at the very minimum, a better fire potential than he had,
yeah, and
right?
they even show like a little montage of them like having fire hand.
Mm-hmm.
And Toya's hair was slightly turning white and Endeavor was saying like, "Hey, did you dye your hair?"
Yeah, that's an interesting little tidbit, right? Like, he started off with the full red hair that Endeavor has,
Mhm.
but for whatever reason, it started going white. And I'm curious what that's about. Because I feel like that's not just in there for nothing. Because, I mean, in the case of Dabi, right, as to who he is now, red or white hair wouldn't matter. He could still dye it black to hide himself regardless. It going white wouldn't matter there.
But don't all Endeavor's kids have a mix of red and white hair?
Does the son, or is his full white? Like the other son, not Toya.
I
Natsu.
I'm trying to think
I
back
think his is
to
pure white.
yes, but his daughter is mostly white with red flecks.
Mm-hmm. Whereas Shoto's half and half.
Yeah, completely. Right down the middle.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Natsu didn't get either quirk, I don't think. His sister got the ice quirk.
Yes.
Dabi got the fire quirk.
Uh huh.
So it doesn't seem to follow the pattern of who gets what quirk. Because Natsu, one, wouldn't matter since he didn't get one. And two, why would there be flecks of red in a white-haired girl who's got the ice quirk in that case?
Hmm.
So it's not following the quirk. So I'm curious what triggered the hair color change and why that's important. Because his changed. If I remember right, when they showed the baby sister, like the sister as a baby, I think her hair was already the color it was supposed to be.
But didn't we also see a kid whose hair was much like a bird's nest with like a red ring and then like the white spot at the center?
I think that's still Toya. I just think that's a little further in the future from where we saw prior.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, because he's like there, like curled up on the floor. I'm pretty sure that's Toya.
Okay. And like a bird's nest is the best way I could describe it.
I mean, white center, red outside.
Yeah.
I'm
But
like kind of skipping through here for a second just to see.
there was like a lot of exposition in this one.
Yeah, there's a shot of Toya where his hair is fully gone white now. Also, eye color change I've noticed too.
Oh, really? I did not notice that.
Well, because unless Dobby's wearing contacts currently, he's got black eyes. Toya had the same blue eyes as Endeavor at the start.
Oh,
And then when his hair's full white, they're more of like a grayish color.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, I didn't notice the gray change, but I did notice when he was younger, they were blue like Endeavors.
Huh.
But when he became Dabi, they're black.
Yeah, so Dabi starts.
Yeah, baby. Sorry, baby Fumuki or Fuyumi. Her hair is the way it's supposed to be. It's white with red flecks.
Ah,
So she's born with her hair the way it's supposed to be. So I don't know what the fuck's up with Dabi slash Toya. I don't know why his hair changed.
yeah, and then Dabi starts doing his plan, trying to make the population turn against the heroes. Say, like, hey, Endeavor's not the only bad one.
Hey,
There's
this is why we brought in Skeptic.
Yep, because he captured Hawk's killing twice.
Actually, Skeptic's camera caught that. I was wondering, and then he does say it's Skeptic's camera.
That's what he
Like,
said. He captured.
yeah, he captured his, which is confusing because
Ah,
we're talking about Dabi speaking shit.
okay,
So just clearing that up.
okay. Yeah, and he was saying, oh, and Hawks also killed the number 3 hero, Best Genist, which is a lie.
Well, one, it's a lie. Two, he has no evidence besides his own word for that one, so that one has no backup.
I guess when Best Genist shows up, they'll be like, hey, Dobby's a liar!
Dabi did say that Best Genius was still recovering from whatever the fuck happened. I don't know what happened. All we know is Hawks was behind Genus. Genus disappeared for a while, and Hawks dropped off some duffel bag with Dabi. Don't know what that means.
Oh.
Don't know
So,
what was in that duffel bag.
so it must have been convincing to Dobby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dobby also pulls out a paternity test that says, like, hey, this is proof that I'm
But it's a
Endeavor's
sheet of
son.
paper you could have doctored at any point.
Yeah, I guess all you have is my word for that one.
A lot of it is just, other than that one picture of Hawks, and you don't technically see anything besides the picture of the attack. You don't even get to see Twice's corpse. Like, he doesn't even give a picture of that to prove that Twice was dead to, like, other people.
Yeah.
A lot of this is very circumstantial evidence that is either just Dobby's word or a misleading picture. A single misleading picture and a document he could have doctored.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of it is just, I guess I've got a very convincing speech, maybe, that is persuasive because I'm a voice. Hell, he doesn't even reveal his hair color in the fucking video.
Yeah. It's like, oh, look at me.
Which might have
I
been a bit more convincing there than here. Like, I get the dramaticism for his father, but I mean, he clearly had that video, or at least, the part where he was talking, set up prior to the attack.
how
He
long
could have undyed and then re-dyed his hair, no problem.
how long do you think he had that for?
However long they've been at that base, is what I would say. And he must have given Skeptic that raw footage recently, like on the trip over, to get that edited together.
Man, Skeptic's pretty good at video editing.
He said it was a rush job, but he did good work.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Endeavor's just shell shocked at the whole thing, which no kidding. Of
And
course you would be.
Shoto's like, come on, we have to attack him. What are you waiting for? We'll attack him together. Come on.
Mm-hmm. We got to see the Endeavor kids screaming about how no, it's not right, it's not real. But you get to hear the voices of like people basically saying, I don't know. Seems pretty convincing.
Yeah. Did Endeavor really kill his son?
I don't think Dabi ever accuses him of
Oh.
killing his son, just beating him.
Mm-mm-mm.
Just beating his children mercilessly, not
Ye-
outright killing them.
Or his, like, I don't want to say, like, abusive parenting led to the
I
death of
mean,
his
you wouldn't
son.
be. It didn't, technically.
Mm. Like his drive,
I mean,
like. So could you have said the fact that he was kept pushing Toya past his limits, and that's what caused him to burn?
it could be, but at the same time, from the flashbacks we've been seeing, Toya was excited to try and do these things. For all we know, it was Toya himself pushing himself beyond these limits, not as much Endeavor.
Plus Ultra.
I wouldn't say that. Endeavor didn't like Plus Ultra at that point.
So,
He's still not the biggest fan now.
so what caused Toya to become Dabi?
See, I think it's a combination.
Of what?
I think it's a combination of Toya seeing what's happening to his siblings, right? Like Natsu or Fuyumi, or
Shoto.
I think maybe some of Shoto. I don't know if he was there for that point or how much of it he was there for. I think it's a combination of seeing that, trying to shoulder the burden himself by pushing himself too far, and it completely backfiring. And then leading to him to blame Endeavor for everything. That's where my mind's at this point, until we find out more about the actual origins of that fire and what happened.
Do you think we'll ever figure it out?
Oh, I'm sure we'll find out. I just don't know when. There's no way they're not going to tell us how it went down. Like, especially the fact that Endeavor wasn't there when it happened. That's my biggest feeling of, like, this is something Toya did himself.
Okay, I agree with you on that.
So yeah, my feeling is just Toya tried to shoulder the burden, tried to be like, look, you don't need to beat them up. I will be the one to, inherit your will or what have you, and take down All Might. Be the number one. And then it just became too overwhelming, both probably physically and mentally, because the kid was like 12. And who knows, at that point, it might have just been a mental breakdown that led to Endeavor being the final person to blame for it all, which technically is true, but at the same time, Toya has just made it all worse with what he did, or at least what I'm assuming he's done.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically the episode.
Yeah.
As Dabi comes in with a big old blue prominence burn, only for Best Jeans to show up with a bunch of, like, cables?
I thought those were threads.
If it is, it's very thick.
Since he does have fabric manipulation?
It probably is, but it looks like it's cable. Like that's the way it's colored to me. That it's cable. But it could
cable.
Be. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Ochiko for a minute.
Yeah, so my question would be, why wouldn't Dabi just burn it away if it's just fabric? It has to be something else or some special fabric. Because otherwise that shit would have just burned up with his fire.
Yes. And next time we're going to have a Dabi fight.
We're also going to have Byakuya. Also, the ending changed. They added in, like, young Dabi and old Dabi. So they've added in some extra scenes of those two.
Mm-hmm. And we getting Bakugo's hero name.
Time to reveal his actual hero name. Is it still Lord Explosion Murder?
I'm guessing yes. But wasn't it something else? Like, I know it was like Lord Explosion Murder and like 3 other words.
Yeah, it was a long, ridiculous title. Also, with Best Genius here, it makes sense because that's the one who he said he would reveal it to.
Do you think they'll be like, oh, that's too long. You can be that as your full one, but we'll just shorten it to this.
You think they're gonna have that joke again?
Maybe.
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be legitimate this time.
Oh, okay.
His hero name's gonna be Boom Boom.
Wasn't there some hero named Boom Boom from some other franchise?
I don't know, man. Actually, question for you. All
Yes.
right. Do you think Monkey from Dexter is in this universe?
Oh my god, I haven't thought about. I have not thought about Dial M for Monkey in like 20 years? What made you think of that?
I don't know. Something just made me think of that. Major Glory is the #1 hero in America.
What? Like, how are you connecting these two
Well,
series?
so my first thought was I remembered back to a point where Endeavor was going to fight before Dabi made his reveal, and he's like, "I need to stop Makia. You know, I'm the #1 hero in this country." And I'm like, "Oh, who are the other #1s in other countries?" And
Oh,
now my brain has gone all over the place with like, who could possibly be in any of the other countries now?
okay. Um, since All Might loves America so much, the #1 hero in America
Is
will
Major Glory?
will be Japanese themed.
Oh my god.
I'm pulling this like out of my ass, but since All Might is America themed, the #1 hero in America will be Japan themed. Or possibly some other country. I don't
Afro
know.
Samurai. It's just Afro Samurai.
Why are you making me remember old cartoons I have forgotten about? That was awesome. That was Samuel L. Jackson. That was awesome.
Oh god.
Not saying it in a way like, damn you, you're making me remember this, but it's like, oh my god, now I remember this.
Well, clearly the British #1 superhero is fucking Thomas the Tank Engine. He's invaded all video games. Oh, the sound that fucking makes a villain's heart quake in fear. The Thomas theme song.
Oh my god, we're getting so sidetracked.
Oh god, no! I didn't do it. I give up.
Oh my god. So until next week when we'll probably get sidetracked more, we'll catch everybody later.
Wait. Before we go,
Honestly, okay.
one last thing I need to ask.
Yes.
What rank? I need to ask you. All right, I have a hero in mind. Okay, what rank do you think he is? The hero's name is Florida Man. What's the rank in the Americas?
uh, either 69 or 420.
I feel like 420's from California. All right.
All right. Later for reals, I guess.
Goodbye.